Hey everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you are a subscriber. I appreciate all of you. We are wrapping up the readings surrounding Asha Degree's disappearance. And now we're looking ahead. We're looking at what's coming up in the investigation. Are the police on the right track? If you want a bit more of background information, check out part 1 in the series I've done for Asha Degree's case. I have a playlist, and part 1 has a time-stamped intro, so you can get a brief synopsis. And also all of the readings, check them out if you're curious. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so question number 1. Are the police on the right track? We see the latest developments in Asha's case and her disappearance, and the Six of Swords. They have made some forward movement. I am concerned about them being able to get full justice in this case. With that Six of Swords, yeah, because I feel like there's enough to refute the prosecution's arguments that some of the key players who are still alive today, who are allegedly related to what happened to Asha that caused her disappearance and ultimately took her life, they may be able to, they could get away with it. And that worries me. Yeah, look at that, the Magician. So the police, I would say, yes, generally speaking, they're on the right track, but they're like a day late, dollar short, meaning that they probably had enough to move forward some time back, but I don't even know if that would have made much of a difference anyway. Yeah, this is not giving me confident energy in the police work. And this is not to knock the police. I know this has been a tough investigation. I know this is worn on law enforcement, those who are very close to the case, but these are not good cards. We have the Six of Swords, which is fine. It is about some sort of movement. We're going to see more developments, more movement, either in the season of midwinter or the timing of 6 months, but it's going to be disappointments to come thereafter with this Three of Swords. The Magician is, yeah, they're on the right track. However, there's some trickster energy in this, meaning that there's someone who can make some magic and make something disappear. Now, this also could be a favorable card if you say maybe law enforcement will have the ability to solve the case. Like they'll have that key bit of information in their back pocket, key bit of evidence, and they can do it. But I'm concerned about this Three of Swords. Let's see. And it's been a long time. Yeah, look, we have corruption. That's the Oracle card that jumped. Let me zoom out a little. Corruption. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Witness. Okay. Okay. So we got corruption, justice, and witness for the Oracle cards. Okay, some level of corruption being found out, or some level of corruption impeding on justice being served. Now, justice, that what we want to see is someone being prosecuted and gone to prison. But when you have karma, that may not be the same thing as justice, and vice versa. They're similar energies, of course, but karma could not involve, litigation, the law. It could very well be something else that comes in the way of karma or karmic justice against the wrongdoers who did this to Asha. So that's good to see. I always love to see a justice card in these types of readings because it does bode well. Where we're at is a witness, somebody coming forward, someone feeling pressured, someone feeling guilt-ridden is the saving grace for this case. And so I do sense that law enforcement is now more than ready, ever than before, to move forward on trying to scare a witness or trying not intimidate, but trying to say, okay, this is all that we have here for evidence, and do the right thing. Do the right thing, witness. That's what they have. The DNA evidence, although compelling in linking this particular family and this particular man who's now deceased, the people who are classified as suspects, what is good about the DNA evidence is it did bring that to full circle, but now there's an argument on who actually set into motion the kidnapping and harming of Asha. And that is what is shaky over here. That's what's shaky. And some people, key people, are heavily influenced, perhaps by this family, allegedly. There's corruption at every turn with this case. And so we may have to readjust our understanding and what we can take as karmic justice, because justice, as we hope to see, may not play out exactly like we want it to be collectively, because everybody wants Asha to be found. Everybody wants whoever hurt her to go to prison for a long time or to suffer in some way. And so that does look like that's on its way, but there's quite a bit more disappointments around the corner with the police and what they're doing and how they're able to move forward in handing this case off to the prosecution. Okay, be back. So let's look at what's next in this investigation. I'm hoping we'll hear some news soon. It's been a month since we had some movement, like we're a big shift. Okay. Death in reverse. Let's get some oracle. So we have the star and death in reverse. Okay. What else? What's next? Let's see. News. Okay. And I'm going to pull some timing cards. An extra card from another deck. Okay. October. It will take a while. I am encouraged that law enforcement definitely knows a lot more than what we know, obviously, right? That's always the case. But it's what they can really do with it in a court of law, like to push it past, like with, beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's the concern. And also the concern is, where is she? Where is she? In most instances, you can move forward, right? I would say in not most instances, but many a case where there has been no body found and you can still proceed forward, is what you see law enforcement and the judicial system do. They move forward without a body being, found. This is something, though, that could be problematic. And law enforcement, as of now, as of October, and when I say law enforcement, I'm also talking about like the prosecuting attorneys, anyone else who's attached in law enforcement to moving this case along. They're recognizing the limitations, because right now, an argument could be made that they had nothing to do with it, that maybe she was somehow injured, or something happened to her, or somebody else did something to her and they just moved her along. There's any number of things you could say with this card. But ultimately what I get from it is that they have to prove, law enforcement has to prove that they were the ones who took Asha's life, allegedly. They were the ones who did it, and that is going to be a tall order. And I think that's what they're embracing right now. We've got here, it will take a while from October. Now, October can be of significance in terms of the case itself in the past or in the future. But I'm thinking it's just saying it's going to take a while. Any day now, we might hear, or maybe family or people close to the case may hear some additional information about it, because it has been a month or so since the last big updates with the suspects being named and whatnot, and the vehicle being discovered. So it's been a while. So it could be any day now that those closest to the case, maybe even us, will hear something. I don't know. But the reason why I was talking a lot about a no-body prosecution case is because we have the missing card. She's missing. They have presumed that she's deceased. They just would have a hard time of really saying how she died. Yeah, there is hope. There's more information that could come out during the star card period. January 21st to February 20th. That was also, my friends, the time frame of when Asha went missing. It's very the same. She lost her life very soon during that time. And so law enforcement has to be able to prove these things. And so that's what they're working on now. That's what's next on the investigation side, seeing how far and where the DNA evidence can take them. And it's not just, the DNA evidence identifying this person, that person. It's also used as a way to compel a witness to feel scared to come forward. So there will be more of that happening just after the death card period. Death card period is October 21st to November 20th. And law enforcement still weighing heavily on some sort of witness. Hopefully will be compelled to do the right thing. The reason why everything is up in the air is because, a lot of people want to believe that we're predestined. I don't necessarily ascribe to that. I believe that everybody has free will, free choice. And we can pick up on energies that, generally speaking, there will be justice had. But there are people involved. There's a lot of volatility with that. One day we might pick up that the witness is going to feel compelled to corroborate what this evidence here with the DNA evidence is saying. Other days they may be shaky and unsure and scared. That's what we have here with the Three of Swords. So there's no absolutes with her case. I'm sorry to say, there are no absolutes here. We are in uncharted territory now with Asha's case, and that's what it is. I take small solace with the justice and karma card on the table. News, media, and the press, they're interested. We may be hearing something soon, or maybe reporters are going to start pressing law enforcement again for some sort of presser or something, some sort of update. And then, of course, we have the DNA evidence card. That's just them gaining as much as they can from it. The DNA evidence. But it only can take them so far in this case. And we can understand why, right? Okay. I'll be back. So now we're going to ask about, in the eyes of the law, will this case be solved? Okay, 3 of Wands is a yes. And what we're going to ask, generally speaking, how will we feel collectively, especially the loved ones, though, about the outcome of justice in this case? Okay, 8 of Pentacles. Impressed by the skill of perhaps the attorneys involved, maybe perhaps law enforcement, although I just feel like there was some missteps in waiting so long. There's what we call spoilage of evidence. And that can happen. Spoilage of evidence can happen by the next day, days following something, an event occurring. And now we have all these years. We have decades. And so that could very well hurt things. But overall, when it's all said and done, 8 of Pentacles represents mastery, admiring the mastery of law enforcement. In law enforcement's eyes, they also have an idea of who the players are. They have an understanding of what happened. They can't reveal everything. They're giving bits and pieces strategically to send a message to those who are still living, who has key information, who could bring the family some closure about what happened. In the past readings, we talked about it. We got some scapegoat energy, cover up energy. We have intoxication. And we also even have the corruption card. So there was a lot of things at play that were going up against this. This card wanted to come out earlier. Death, yes. Will this case be solved? Yeah, I know, Spirit. Okay. I'm going to move these down here so I have a little more room. All right. It looks like, from what I get a sense, the 8 of Pentacles represents maybe law enforcement knowing years ago kind of how everything transpired, but they haven't been able to share everything yet because it, somehow DNA caught up with it, is what Spirit is telling me, caught up with where we are now today. Like something happened where some kind of hit happened and they were able to use DNA to bring them to this point. Before that, it was just old police investigation tactics. It's them speaking to witnesses. It's hunches. It's certain evidence that makes them believe how things happen. Now they're going to be able to have more concrete evidence to piece together exactly what happened. What caused her death? I don't know what the intoxication card could be referring to. Remember, we're asking the question, will this case be solved? Maybe there's evidence of somebody who was always intoxicated back then. Drugs, alcohol, intoxicated with power, but intoxication, leading to death, knowing where she, knowing, generally speaking, where she was on the night of she disappeared, having a general sense that she's no longer with us. They may not be able to fully say cause of death, obviously, because they don't have a body, but they know that she is deceased. We have here contamination. So that's why I was saying there's some issues here that leads me to believe that, yes, law enforcement will be satisfied with what they know about who caused her death. And they may even convey that to the family. But in terms of prosecution, they have a big uphill battle. And the trajectory is looking as such that it may not come to pass that someone is charged or prosecuted because of contamination of evidence. What I was saying earlier about spoilage of evidence. Burial or grave. Again, a general idea of where she may be. Also, a general idea of the fact that she is no longer with us. We have two different cards. Let me zoom out. Sorry about that. Two different cards about someone being buried. Law enforcement assume it's like close proximity to where she disappeared. What I'll do in a moment after this, after I take a picture of these cards, is I will do a quick oracle reading just to see if we can get any clues on where she may be. And then we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up and definitely say a prayer that justice is happening, that her case will be solved. And I pray that her family is able to get all the answers that they need. Burial or grave. Yeah. Eight of Pentacles can represent it may take another 8 years or so to get this, or within 8 years from all of this happening in October or September, I should say, to 8 years from now. Or it could mean that this is part of an 8-year cycle, and that we're nearing the end of something where, it's just a matter of a few more years, and this could be behind us in terms of we've got answers. This case is solved, or is it solved as it's going to be? Some people want to believe that she's still alive, and hey, you could argue that with the reverse death card up here, question number 2. But I get a sense these cards are saying no. She died very soon after this encounter, and it's tragic. Any day now is what tells me that, this card. It's like moving quick, swift energy. So, short answer, will this case ever be solved? Yeah, it will. These are 2 affirmative cards of yes. It's going to take us some time to get there. And I'd rather them take even more time to get it right than to rush. There's no need to rush now, because there's been spoilage of evidence already. So now it's just priming that key witness to corroborate some other evidence to perhaps bring about justice. And so that's what I've got. I'm going to pause here, take a picture of these cards, and then we'll just throw some additional oracle cards, maybe tarot, get a sense of any clues on where she may be located. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see if we can get any clues on where she's located, or what can be said. We did get earlier a burial or grave card, so perhaps somewhere buried. She was at one point in one location and moved. That's what I'm getting a sense. And what I mean by move, not just kidnapped, even though we got that card here, but it was also that she was moved post-mortem. Further away. We got body of water. Moved. Okay, so let me zoom in so you all can see this. Sorry for the glare up here. We have bushland, forest. A couple of key cards here is forest. I got a sense she was initially very close to where she was picked up, or someone said they saw her get into a vehicle. So initially in that area, but then later moved to another location. That's why law enforcement has not been able to find her as of yet, because there's a sense of movement going on here. We have that with the truck card. Also, we have that with the 160 kilometers to 200 kilometers. This can represent a person who's a witness, accomplice, accessory after the fact, or just someone more in the know than they realize. They could now in present day live 160 kilometers to 200 kilometers. But I think since we're asking the question of where is she, where is key evidence to unlock what happened to her, we're looking at this amount of kilometers or miles. The other thing is that sometimes this can denote when people make round trips, going here and there from the crime scene to their home, or from the burial site. And if you plot key areas surrounding the suspects, you will be able to plot probably where, like the radius at which she's located because of their round trips. Another card denoting some sort of cover-up, secrets, withholding information. Someone is really not wanting to share exactly where she is. There is someone who knows today where she is not, to me, I get that strongly, that they may try to say, they being the suspects that have been named, or the persons of interest may try to say, oh, well, the person who died, who had DNA, evidence attached to her, he knows where she was buried. We don't know. But that, to me, is not true with this card. We have here winter. We know that she disappeared in winter in the month of February, but we also can say perhaps in a future winter season is when we get more information about her case, or something key happening to the case in winter time. February is of significance. It could represent someone's birth month. It could represent, obviously, the month she disappeared. It could represent in the future when a major development comes about. Maybe like on the anniversary of her disappearance. July is of significance. It could be related to litigation, the case, the investigation, someone's birth month. Okay, July is of significance. Changed appearance. Changed appearance. Someone changed their appearance and hold on one moment. Wait for the background noise to stop. So changed appearance. That could be someone changed their appearance. Something changed about their appearance. Something, maybe they grew up. Maybe they gained weight. Maybe they lost weight. I also get a sense with this card, the word changed is why I also sensed that it's a changed location, like she was moved post-mortem. Was there a burned down, like not ranch, but barn or a fire? Was there some kind of fire that happened? I don't know. If people who are knowledgeable of the case, I say that because it could be that, yes, key evidence, she could have even, God forbid, been burnt, but it could be key evidence that, you know, was burnt up, or it could be a location mark of like some kind of burned out barn or ranch or something like that, or outpost, and that being like a marker of where she may be near, or that at one point she was in a space like this and there's some sort of fire is what I'm getting from this card. Near a body of water. Body of water could be a creek, lake, obviously not the ocean, but it doesn't have to be some huge body of water. We have boat. I think body of water was what stands out, because we also got the in water, drowning, and submerged. That could be related to cause of death. I think we touched on cause of death in the earlier parts of our reading series. We have here sexual, R word, assault, and non-consensual. Like maybe that happening to her. I'm so sorry. I don't even, or it could be maybe somebody else involved had experienced something like this. Years. It has been years. It's been decades now. And the spirit is like it could be more years to come before the family is able to really experience what the true nature of justice feels like against at least some people who are in the know and withholding information. 3 people standing here. 3 people alive today knowing key information. Cover up. I guess we could say 3 or more people, but someone with a past addiction or current addiction, drug addict, someone addicted. I think we also, earlier we got the intoxication card, so that is at play. Social. Acquaintances, friends, social circle. Hung out, same drug dens. Provided a drug den, allegedly, for activities to happen. I don't know what that means related to this, but maybe it's some kind of drug den, or where people would actually, on one hand, you'd think it's one kind of place, but really it's where people congregate to do drugs together. I don't know. I guess it's another potential, like, I don't want to say landmark, but a place, a point of reference, I should say. Anyways, I'm going to stop here. And I want to thank you all so much for watching the videos I did covering Asha's disappearance. I pray that she is found, and I especially pray for her family and loved ones and the community. This is tragic beyond measure when a child goes missing, and then when the realization that that child may have been met with foul play, it's heartbreaking and devastating. And so, yeah, I'm going to stop here. Check out the playlist to see the other videos on her case that I've covered if you haven't done so already. Do me a favor on your way out, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, okay? And also don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think your theories are, what your hunches are. Did you throw cards on this case? Share what came up for you. Also, if you know something about some of the cards, when I do a call out to you all, like, what do you think this card means? Or do you all who follow the case know about a burnt out cabin or house or barn? I don't know. Leave me a comment because I would love to hear from those who are really knowledgeable of this case. I appreciate all of you. Take very good care of yourselves, all right? Bye for now.